Hello, it is 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition for tonight headlines. So we have the Prime Minister participates in the work of the countries contributing to the African Union mission. The launch of the National Week, volunteering and civic mindedness. For the international scene, UN sounds the alarm. Israel is planning to mobilize the reservists. Welcome to our newsroom. The Prime Minister of Djibouti, His Excellency Abdulkadir Kabil Mohammed, took part in the extraordinary summit of a troop of contributing countries to the African Union Support and Stabilization Mission in Somalia, held from 23 to 25 April 2025 at the Presidential Palace in Entebbe in the Republic of Uganda, organized at the initiative of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda and Dean of the troop contributing countries. This high-level summit aimed to take stock of the security situation in Somalia, coordinate the transition from ATMIS to AWSOM, and agree on concrete measures to guarantee long-term stability in the Horn of Africa. Took part in this meeting the ruler of the member countries, Dr. Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, President of the Federal Republic of Somalia, Professor Kithure Kindiki, Vice President of Kenya, Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, Prime Minister of Egypt, and Aisha Mohammed Musa, Minister of Defense of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Dr. Workneh Gebeyehu, Executive Secretary of the IGAD, as well as representative of the United Nations, European Union, USA, and UK. Major decisions of the summit: immediate increase of the AWSOM contingent by 8,000 additional troops, reinforcement of air reconnaissance and surveillance capabilities to support ground operations, support for the doctrinal and operational training of Somali's security forces, support for the creations of the local defense forces to hold the liberated area, establishment of a peer review mechanism chaired by President Museveni to ensure monitoring, accountability, and coordination between the CCCs. The Djibouti delegation, led by Ilyas Musa Dawale, the Minister of Finance and Economy and Finance, took part today in the 21st Ministerial Meeting of the Horn of Africa's initiative held in Washington, D.C., accompanied by the Djibouti Ambassador to Washington, Mr. Ziad Douale, in the presence of the Finance Minister of Kenya, Somalia, South Sudan, and Sudan. The meeting was co-chaired by Ahmed Shide, Minister of Finance of Ethiopia, and Mr. Amit Dar, Acting Vice President for Eastern and Southern Africa at the World Bank. The participants expressed their gratitude for the continued support and commitment of our development partners, notably the African Development Bank, the European Union, the Federal Ministry of Germany for Germany and Cooperation, the UK, and the World Bank Group, which have mobilized around several billions dollars for the implementations of a strategic pillar of the Horn of Africa's initiative. The meeting focused on regional trade and trade facilitation issues. The discussion resulted in a short and medium-term action plan comprising 9 key measures. Ministers agreed to extend the previously adopted trade facilitation roadmap by 3 years and proposed 2 concrete actions for future consideration: a memorandum of understanding for the establishment of the Horn of Africa simplified trade regime, and a joint ministerial declaration on the establishment of a Horn of Africa Regional Trade Facilitation Committee. The Interior Minister Abdul Amir Al-Shamari, leading a large delegation, arrived in the Republic of Djibouti on Friday, April 25. The minister and his delegation were greeted upon disembarking by the Interior Minister Saeed Nuh Hassan. The Iraqi minister carried an official invitation from the President of the Republic, His Excellency Abdul Latif Jamal Rashid, to the President of Djibouti, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, to participate in the 34th Arab Summit scheduled to be held on May 17 in Baghdad. This Saturday morning, His Excellency Abdul Amir Al-Shamari was received at Apify Idris Farah Abane Police Academy by Interior Minister Saeed Nuh Hassan. Our Ministers of Interior received the invitations letter addressed to the President of the Republic. Also present at the ceremony were the Director General of the National Police, Colonel Abdurrahman Ali Kahin, senior officials from the National Police, taking advantage of the occasion. Saeed Nuh Hassan led the foundation for cooperation between the ministries of interior of the two countries, Djibouti and Iraq. The esplanade of the region's prefecture hosted the official launch of the National Citizenship and Volunteering Week, culminating in a symbolic relay race. The first flagship activities was organized by the Association for the Promotions of Education and Sports in close collaboration with the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training. The ceremony was attended by Ms. Saïda Wabir Assowe, Deputy Prefect of Ali Sabih, Sharmaki Hassan Allale, President of the Regional Council, Mr. Mohammed Adan Gelle, Regional Inspector of the National Education, and members of the APEPS Steering Committee. They all welcomed the initiative, which is part of a shared desire to promote civic mindedness, civic commitment, and voluntary work among young people. Throughout this sporting rally, the organizers wanted to transmit fundamental values such as solidarity, team spirit, civic responsibility. It is a dynamic and unifying way of raising awareness among young people of the importance of their role in society. The week will continue with a range of educational, sporting, and community activities, all aimed at getting young people actively involved in the social and civic development of their region. The town of Dekhel launched its national rally a few minutes after the town of Obok. After being read out by a people in Afar, the pledge was given a standing ovation by an enthusiastic crowd, who then accompanied the procession of people to the site of the town of Dekhel, which continues towards Mulud and then headed towards the Dekhel Ali Sabih junction. Is the town of Ali Sabih, famous for its long distance runners, come out in the force to attend the launch of the national rally after the speeches. A gala dinner this evening to close the third edition of the Djibouti Book Fair at the Sheraton Hotel. It was given. It was in an elegant and festive atmosphere. An elegant and festive atmosphere that the third editions of the Djibouti Book Fair came to an end during a gala evening organized at the Sheraton Hotel. This powerful and memorable moment crowned several days of exciting exchanges around books and reading and culture. Organizers, guests of honors, authors, publishers, institutional partners, and sponsors came together to celebrate the success of this year's event. A species full of gratitude and commitment were made, saluting the vitality of the Djibouti's literary scene. The evening was also punctuated by musical and cultural performances, adding an artistic touch to this closing event, which was full of emotions and promises for the future of the fair. It should be noted that during the evening, the RTD Orchestra and young talent performed a live sample of the project to revive Hassan Elmi's legendary play and oral heritage. So these high-quality performances received standing ovations from the distinguished guests. The Minister of Youth and Culture, Hiba Momin Asowe, has indicated in her speech fuel of gratitude and commitment were made, saluting the vitality of Djibouti's literary scene. The evening was also punctuated by musical and cultural performances, adding an artistic touch to this closing event, which was full of emotions and promises for the future of the fair. Like other countries around the world, the Ministry of Health of Djibouti celebrated the World Tuberculosis Day, which was established to remind the world of the threat that tuberculosis continues to pose to humanity. This day takes place on March 24 of each year, and this year's theme is We Can End Tuberculosis, Commit, Invest, and Act. It is also an opportunity to raise public awareness of this persistent disease and to highlight the efforts for its prevention and control throughout the world. It remains a major public health issue because it mainly affects the most vulnerable people for whom access to diagnosis and treatment remain difficult. According to the World Health Organization, tuberculosis remains widespread with approximately 10.8 million cases estimated worldwide, including 225,000 in Europe, and WHO figures 2023 it is a global epidemic. In 2024, 2,369 cases of tuberculosis were reported in Djibouti, represented an incidence of 218 cases per 100,000 inhabitants. This represents a 13% increase compared to the previous 2 years. This increase is due to the implementations of innovative screening approach adopted by the PNLT, such as home visit by the communities and initial tuberculosis screening. Djibouti has installed GenExpert machine in 7 health facilities in Djibouti and 4 regional facilities to effectively detect more cases and end the disease. The representative of the World Health Organization said that it should be noted that the tuberculosis screening via GenExpert as well as treatment and follow-up are free in all health facilities to mark the celebrations of the World Tuberculosis Day for a week. For his part, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Health, Muhammad Ali Muhammad, focused this year's on raising awareness among tuberculosis patients about early detections of contact subject and the referral of anyone with a cause suspected of TB. These awareness sessions took place in the health facilities, including the Shakib Saad Referral Hospital. This awareness campaign was supported by the facility doctors with interventions from community actors and the TB program team. The Civil Aviation Authority of Djibouti hosted an official ceremony this Thursday, marking the signing of a technical cooperation agreement with its counterpart in the United Arab Emirates. This agreement focuses on the development and integration of artificial intelligence in the civil aviation sector. This initiative is part of a shared desire to promote technological innovation for safety, efficiency, and the modernization of flight management system, ranked among the most advanced countries in the world in the adoption of the artificial intelligence in aviation. The United Arab Emirates is bringing its recognized expertise to the Republic of Djibouti through this partnership. The ceremony began with a technical presentation led by the Emirati experts on the practical applications of the artificial intelligence in the aviation sector. It concluded with the official signing of the agreement by Mr. Dawood Ali Abdu, Director General of the Djibouti Civil Aviation, and Mr. Saif Mohammed Al Suwaidi, Director General of the Civil Aviation of the United Arab Emirates. For his part, Mr. Saif Mohammed Al Suwaidi welcomes this partnership, which he described as a model of a forward-looking South-South collaboration based on skills transfer, specialized trains, and joint projects.
Our nation that will cover mainly the knowledge exchange, the AI, the technical assistance, our international cooperation program, strategic planning and execution, and so on.
In his speech, the Director General of the Djibouti Civil Aviation, Dawood Ali Abdo, emphasized that this agreement will contribute to strengthening safety, improving efficiency, and modernizing air traffic management systems in Djibouti. He also praised the strategic significance of this cooperation for the future of the national aviation sector. The Djibouti Red Crescent, in collaboration with the ADDS and MAS, has been organizing a series of nutritionist and hygiene training sessions since April 13, 2025 in the five interior regions: Tajara, Obok, Dakhil, Ali Sabih, and Arta. These sessions are part of the Emergency Social Protection and Food Crisis Response Project funded by the World Bank. They aim to strengthen the capacity of the communities outreach workers to better prevent malnutrition, improve hygiene, and support households in a context of increasing vulnerability. The workshop relied on practical demonstrations, adapted visual tools, and experiences sharing to promote the adoption of key messages. In return, the trained outreach workers become local actors capable of disseminating best practices within their communities, a collective commitment to building more resilient community, better prepared to face health, climate, and economic crises. The trade inspectors collect stock movement in the Obok region as part of the ongoing price and stock control operations. Inspectors from the Ministry of Trade and Tourism collected price and stock data this morning in the Obok region. This project is funded by the World Bank as part of the emergency response to the food crisis. The objective of this operation is to improve inventory management and verify that approved prices are being observed. The inspectors meet with the managers of a storage and distribution facility in the region. They inspected stocks of basic necessities including rice, edible oils, sugars, and dairy products. The inspectors found that the stocks are sufficient to cover the needs of the region's population. However, they noted some irregularities, including exceeding approved prices. The trade inspectors warned against adhering to the prices approved by the ministry. They indicated that sanctions will be imposed on establishments that fail to adhere to these approved prices. For the international scene, famine alert in Gaza. The UN sounds the alarm. Israel plans to mobilize reservists. The Gaza Strip today entered its fourth day since the resumption of Israeli war under the continuous roar of airstrikes that have killed at least 16 Palestinians since then. Meanwhile, the World Food Programme announced the total exhaustion of its food stocks in Gaza, warning of an imminent risk of large-scale famine. This Saturday at dawn, the Israeli Air Force carried out several raids on Gaza City, killing and wounding others, while the occupation forces continued their campaign of forcibly displacing Palestinians within the besieged enclave. On the humanitarian front, World Food Programme Executive Director Cindy McCain said the program had sent its last truckload of food to Gaza, stressing that there were no more available supplies. The conditions in Gaza are catastrophic. People are starving. McCain said, warning that more and more civilians will face starvation if the current situation continues. A UN official, for his part, denounced Israel's deliberate policy of starvation, stating that children in Gaza are now suffering severely from hunger due to the prolonged closure of crossing since March to preventing the entry of food and other essential supplies. Amid this tense situation, the Israeli army announced its intention to mobilize new reservist soldiers in the coming days. And this is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.